Asking questions is how I make my living. The downside to that is sometimes you find answers that you don't necessarily want to hear. Today, we're talking about the Department of Governmental Efficiency. The watchdogs waving their wall of receipts. A ledger of cuts they claim saves our tax dollars. I had an itch. Who's cashing in on these tax dollars? Who are the companies that are benefiting most in living off the federal government and the money that comes out of our paycheck every single week? So I took a sledgehammer to the wall to try to find an answer to that question. And what I found, it wasn't just a slip up. It was a break in the wall. Deals that were dressed in lies, sitting right in front of us. What's D.O.G.E really after? Efficiency? A spotlight? Or something they won't say? They say D.O.G.E is meant to rebuild trust. But what's the intent? Is it streamlining, scoring? Or is it steering the country even farther into a deeper divide? Before we get into this video, I wanted to cover one thing. As many of you know, if you've been watching for a while, my main goal is to tell both sides of the story and help us see biases as they are, and then try to dig deeper into who's creating those biases within the media. That's why I want to talk about my partner for this video, Ground News. They're doing exactly that. I'll be honest with you, I still have a full-time job. I work 60 to 70 hours a week. I can't talk about everything that's going on. But with Ground News, you can do the research yourself. And also, with their blind spot feature, you can make sure that you're seeing both sides of the story. Ground News is able to identify what news you're actually prone to receiving and will give you a different perspective. Through these tools, they've been able to help me open my eyes and be able to see where people are coming from whenever they're making these decisions that these echo chambers love to question. Ground News can help you do the same. Use the link in the bio to get 40% off your first year membership. For an extremely low cost, you can take back control of your algorithm and truly get all the information you need to make informed decisions about your life. Check it out. I'm chasing the cash on the wall. Hunting who's profiting. The first one I noticed was the Office of the Comptroller. $4.8 million on DEIA training. I'm after the big fish. I want to understand who's making $5 million telling the government how to not be racist when they hire people. I know it sounds like it'd be a pretty easy thing to be able to do. But then I noticed what the name of the company was. It was Executive Information Systems. That didn't really sound like a management consulting company, so I dug a little deeper. They actually offer software as a service support, cloud technology, not culture talks. So why was that 4.8 million wrapped up in a lie? Are they shaping a story or too lost to notice because they're cutting so many contracts? Maybe this one just fell through the cracks. I then dove into the IRS. Small little contract, $12,477. Also labeled as DEI training. The company behind that one was named CRS Corporate Relocation. The Details tab, it was utilized to move furniture. Is furniture racist now? I don't know, maybe. It is 2025. I digress, though. Again, such a careless little mislabel and a careless contract to be cut. I noticed a larger one as well of $222,000. Randall Business Interiors was the name of the company. Once again, not sounding like a company that would be offering DEI training, but still with the same DEI tag. Same contract, furniture relocation. Are they dressing these cuts up just so they can inflate their numbers to feed their narrative, or are they just missing the mark? Are they so overwhelmed that screw it, let's just call it DEI and move on and the boss will be happy? What's the aim here? What's the process? What investigation is happening when deciding what of these contracts to cut? But it doesn't stop there. So I kept digging. I pulled 35 separate DEI and diversity-based contracts. $22,357,000 worth of contracts that have been cut. All mislabeled. And the IRS again, $950,000. Management Concepts Incorporated, DEI training. It was program management. It was teaching people how to use business processes. $5.2 million to Steel Point Solutions for DEIA training. This one made me laugh. I'm not going to lie. This was an EDI transformation contract. For what people don't know who don't work in the tech world, an EDI transformation or an EDI technology service is an electronic data interchange service. So what that means is it's a service that ensures the secure transportation of confidential documents across a network. Yet they just blindly labeled it as DEI, probably because it had the same letters in it. It was purely an IT contract. Honestly, one that sounds kind of important because it's also the same side that's feeding the narrative of China is trying to infiltrate us at every point. I'd like for our documents to be secure. So I'm 3 energy drinks down at this point, and I'm muttering, I wanted names, not more riddles to unpack. How are they tagging these? Where's the oversight? Are they even reaching out to these companies to try to understand what services they were providing and if they were an important part? Or are they just clicking cancel throughout the procurement portal? Taking a look back into 2024, and a lot of these cuts that they've been saying need to happen, and now that they have the chance to do it, it was focused a lot around DEI. That was a huge campaign promise. So it was their easy hit, low stakes that they knew people would be accepting of and happy to see go. And I will be fair as well. In other contracts I found, it was clearly millions of dollars being spent on DEI training. So why the need to mislabel these other ones? Was there a quota that was given to hit? These are the questions that are keeping me up, trying to figure out what's going on. I feel betrayed. I was told this was supposed to bring back trust to the government. And now all they're doing is lying to my face and giving me the proof that they're lying. In total, they've claimed $800 million in DEI cuts, 167 contracts. I only pulled 35, and I found $22 million in mislabels. What's their narrative they want? Are they trying to break something bigger? What's the goal? A couple of other large ones that really stuck out to me was found in the IRS. $6.5 million to the Hispanic Association of Colleges for DEI training. They were funds for internships. Now, to be fair, and I called this out on my ex, the Hispanic Associations of Colleges receive so much money from the federal government. Holy cow. It seemed like every other one of the contracts I pulled from the wall was paying them. But still, this is for internships. So we say that we want to get the youngest and brightest minds into government. Well, also, we need to pay attention to the fact that people need money to live. And if you're spending all this time at these internships, you can't really afford the time to go have another job and probably still be in school. So why are we cutting the funding? What, just because they speak Spanish a little bit? It's automatically DEI? That doesn't make any sense. Did we look into this? Where's the proof of saying they were solely trying to only give money to promote diversity rather than just promoting general interest of the youth of working in government? These are questions that need to be asked. In the Forest Service, another $374,000 contract for management and engineering technologies, labeled as DEI training. Once again, they're doing work on the networks. Same crew. Then they were blamed for gender assessment for DEI training. I scoped all of these companies' websites. I saw none of these services being offered. What's the threat? Federal Acquisition Services, $3.6 million. It's a procurement technology. It creates a portal to be able to work efficiently when sourcing multiple vendors. Digitails Technologies, Cloud Tech. Nope, DEI training according to D.O.G.E. M2 Strategies. They help configure networks. I was on the lookout for finding companies that needed to be exposed because they are living off of federal funds, profiting massively. And I had what in a sense was my hero basically tell me to my face they're lying to me. The amount of IT contracts that were cut in the IRS was astounding. I mean, I found multiple over $4 million plus from databases management, network management, software support. And coincidentally enough, I kind of remember on X everyone freaking out because the IRS was coming out with delays due to their databases faltering during their busiest time of the year. So once again, you have to ask, what's the process here? Are we just trying to say that we're beating DEI? Listen, I'm not here to defend DEI. You can have your own opinion on it. I have mine. At the end of the day, I do believe whoever gets a job should just be the best person for that job. It doesn't matter the color of their skin or what gender they are or how they sexually identify. That's stupid. This goes deeper than that. It's clear proof of pushing an agenda, which is what this whole administration was saying they're trying to get away from. Because that's all we felt for the last 4 years from the previous administration. It's just more of the same. In the end, like I said, 35 contracts in total is what I looked at on the DEI training. Out of a total of 167 cited diversity and DEI contract cuts from D.O.G.E's wall of receipts, and $800 million plus. Well, right now we just established we can take off 22 million of that. So you also have to ask if 35 showed 22 million in lies. What's in the other 132 of that 800 million? How much of it is real? They're not digging into these contracts. They're just moving them to the dead pile. But towards what? The only thing I can theorize is D.O.G.E is either blatantly lying, crafting a tale for political coins, or they're too lazy to check and too empty to care. But what if it's more? What if this mess right here in plain ink is a step, a signal? It's a shift that we can't even read yet. They swore that in 2025 that they would mend trust. This isn't trust. It's a ledger with a shadow over the country. How do they pick wasteful? It's on us, the people, to ask, to put the work in. Whatever D.O.G.E is chasing, we have to focus on what it's doing to us now. I'm still digging. You should too. Because at the end of the day, every single one of us want answers. But the most important question is, are you willing to put the work in to find it? I am. And I hope you come along that movement with me. Hit that likes button, hit that subscribe. And let's try to make a change. Till next time.